Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. Hey friends, this is Nancy the Handy Scandy and welcome to Saturday Morning Makes. I literally made these at, I don't know, between 1 and 5 a.m. Took me a minute, but got them done, getting my video up this morning. I'm very excited. I am so happy to be sharing with you some amazing makes and products from This Calls for Confetti. If you are not familiar with This Calls for Confetti, it is owned and operated by an Army veteran couple, Lisa and her husband Aaron. In fact, I was just talking with her about how much I love the way they coordinate their business as well as their relationship, and they are just an adorable, kind, loving, I don't know, they're just amazing. Just amazing. I can't give you enough positive adjectives. But anyway, This Calls for Confetti. This is her Christmas pattern paper pad. It's a new release. It's new to me. This is the remnants of the little sentiment strips. But look at how cute those are. Look at those fun colors. Now, as much as I love traditional Christmas colors, I'm also all about non-traditional. So this was right up my alley, and I just thought this was so much fun. But let me set these cards aside. These and the tag. These are my makes for this morning, but I want to do a quick flip through of this pattern paper. Again, that same fun, non-traditional color combo. And there are 2 of each of these. Love a polka dot. Look at these fun little stockings. They're kind of a prim style because they're long and thin, but they're also very modern with the color scheme. Oh my gosh, and the stripe, the holly. This one just might be my overall favorite because I love anything that has that arabesque kind of quatrefoil vibe to it. All of the ornaments and the diagonal stripe, and look at the multicolored snowflakes. So happy. And then this, I used a lot of this weekend, and this is really fun. I have not used this yet, which kind of surprises me because this is definitely up there on my list in terms of favorites, is this one, the little light strings, and then the houndstooth, and then it starts again. So super, super cute. You guys, you won't be disappointed if you go check these out. And this is the same company, for those of you who are Kathy Zielske fans. Kathy Z is always talking about This Calls for Confetti when she does her boops. This is where she started with the boops. But on to the other products that I used for my cards. I used my Labels 1 set again this weekend. I think it was this one. I just used half of it. I just like that little excuse me, tab. And these are still out from last weekend. And then this one is Lafayette. It's from Mama Elephant. This one is no longer available, but there are plenty of dies that you guys could use. Like I used this rounded rectangle, and then I used this other little ornate tag. And the cool thing about this set is it has all these little hole reinforcers, basically, that you can add. You can make these tags and you can add these. So it gives you kind of some cool options. So I really like that set. This one I've used before. It's from Stamp Market. I use the big postage die. And my cards are 5x7, so it really, you know, that die is really my only die that's appropriate for that size card. So I use it a lot when I make larger cards. Now, this is from This Calls for Confetti. It is acetate sheets, and it's so cool because not only is it heavy duty, but you can heat emboss on it, you can dry emboss it, you can do foiling on it, you can do all kinds of things. And it has this beautiful little, I call it beautiful, which might sound weird, but it's a film, and I can never remember which side that it's on. But I just take my little pokey tool and I don't really dig into it because I don't want to scratch the surface, but you can see it pulls. It's like a protective sheet on there. So I really like that about Lisa's acetate sheets. And so again, these are A2 size for 5.5 by 4.25. And I used some of these. They're foam sheets. They are very, very low loft. I don't know how well you can see that, but they're very low loft. And very, very pliable, very easily bendable. You can go around corners and things like that. So you can see I used a lot of those. I just opened it. And then these are little foam squares, larger size and smaller size. And then the same with the circles, larger size and smaller size. So those are This Calls for Confetti things that I used. I also used this die, this Framelits tag die from Tim Holtz, and I used the hole reinforcer, and I used, I think it was this, no, it was this guy and this guy. But again, you can use any tags. I have most of my tag dies kind of all stuck in here. This Whimsy one is definitely one of my favorites. This one might be my most used, but I just like the different shape. And then this one is a little bit longer, and I like that it's a little more squared off. So that was why I chose that one today. But you can use any die that you want. You can even cut them freehand. You know, it doesn't matter. You do you. What else did I use? So I used this sweet set. It is a Stamped Timber collaborative from last year, from 2020. No, what was last year? 2022. I know my years. Anyway, I used these sweet little ostriches. I just thought they were so stinking cute. I mean, I don't jump on the Stamped Timber bandwagon very often. I don't know. I don't participate in buying frenzies. But I just went with what I liked. It's called Fabulous Holiday. Of course, it's no longer available, but anything, for what I did today, anything that has kind of a music theme or a Christmas theme, you're golden, right? So I'm going to start with the tag. So this is where I use the Tim Holtz tag die. And then I use the, I use the Fa La La. Where's the Fa La La? How do I not have that out? Here we go. La la la. So this is from This Calls for Confetti as well. And the letters, they're attached, but I just left them all together because they were so perfectly lined up to make this beautiful kind of formation on the tag. I thought that was really cute. Now, in retrospect, I feel like I could have done a darker background instead of just white, but I wanted the white background to allow all this beautiful confetti to really kind of shine in there. So, yeah, but a different colored background I think would allow the letters to pop out a little bit better. So I did save whatever this little piece is called. You want to save that, because if you're going to do any kind of shaker or anything, or even if you're just using the relief, you want to make sure that you put that little guy back in there. But I used the Merry and Bright sentiment from that sentiment strip cutout, and this is where I used the two little tags. This one I actually did it in two pieces, just like I did this. So I cut out one big tag for the back, and then I doubled up the foam tape to create my shaker well. And I cut this out of the pattern paper, and then I cut this little topper out of white, and I adhered it on. I don't know if you can see the difference. And then this little line of paper, I love to create like a threshold between papers. I just cut this yellow stripe out of a longer piece, and that's how I got that little stripe there. Let me see if I can show you what I mean. So where do I have my scraps? So back here you can see that there was another stripe in there. It was this yellow, kind of chartreuse yellow. See how it fits in that space perfectly? I just trimmed that out with my scissors, and I tucked it up under this tabby part, and I glued it all down. So I think that's fun. I like my tags to have two tones, and then you can use, you know, edger dies or your fancy scissors to make like a scalloped edge or whatever if you want. But these are just kind of clean and simple, which is not my style, but boy, this product really lends itself to that. So it really made it easy. And I'm one that just kind of hoards my pattern paper and doesn't usually use it. But I just was so inspired to use and just let the pattern paper and the product speak. And I had so much fun with that. Now for this right here, like I said, these are the tags from the Tim Holtz set and more of the pattern paper. But I also used a little charm from here and these bulb tags or bulb pins from Amazon, right? So these bulb pins, these are silver. I also have gold. I have like a black, grungy silver, and then kind of a brassy, grungy gold color. And these are, they're just charms, but there's so many different things. I just was looking for something music and found this treble clef. That's what it's called, right? No, that's not a treble clef. What is this? What kind of note is this, y'all? If you know, let me know downstairs. It's definitely not a treble clef. I remember what that is. It's similar to it, or it looks similar to an ampersand, similar to that. So anyway, that is this. You can see where I used the, what's this piece called? The reinforcer die and that blue polka dot paper. And then this was just from my stash. This is just from my stash. I don't know how long I've had this. This might be an old Stampin' Up! Ribbon. I don't even know. I don't even know. But it has adhesive, which no longer adheses. But that's the release paper, and then this is the adhesive itself. It just peels right off. But anyway, that is what I used, and I just tie a knot, and then I actually use a little bit of glue. I stick some or shoot some glue up in there just to make sure everything's going to hold and not, you know, kind of wiggle loose. So, but that is that die. Oh, let me show you the confetti. I'm forgetting the confetti. Hang on. Oh, let me reel myself in here. Also, I use sheer shimmer spray. This one's in sparkle. You see all that mica in there? It's beautiful. I use that on all 3 projects. So if you see it, you see all that sparkle in there. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. I don't know. Anyway, but let me show you these real quick. These are the Prism Snowflakes from This Calls for Confetti. So cute. Look at all that color. There are a few of those in there. The Prism Snowflakes. Also the Merry and Bright Sparkle Gems. I mean, if you are a non-traditional color person for Christmas, this is right up your alley. Even if you are a traditional color, I mean, it's still so fun. And someone on your list is going to love something like this. Look at those colors and that shimmer and that shine. There are some sparkle gems down in there too, and I use sparkle gems on one of the other cards as well. But what I did is I had this over like this, with this piece wasn't on there, but the shaker well was already built. And I've built some stoppers in here so that the glitter didn't fall all in there and you can't see it. But I made sure that each one of them was facing upwards so that you could see the little facets and that the sparkles would actually sparkle. So there's those. Let me see. Here's the music notes. I have some of the music notes in there. How could I not put the music notes in when it says fa la la? They're so cute. Look at that. And those colors are just amazing. So much fun. And obviously these don't have to just be for Christmas, right? They can be for any time of the year. They just coordinate so well with the concepts here. And then these are the other products that I got too. There's more of the Prism Snowflakes. This one, I don't know if you can see that kind of etching or scratching in there. It's called Fuchsia Tinsel. It has that kind of, I don't know what to call it. Excuse me, but this is the turquoise tinsel. And again, you can kind of see those. They're not facets, but they're like little grooves. Like little tinsely, I don't know, tinsely things. And then look at these yellow iridescent snowflakes. I did not use those in there, but so fun. They will definitely be used, but just not on these products or projects today. And then these are the clear dewdrops. So many different sizes in there. And guys, let me tell you, I also used this from This Calls for Confetti. It's called No Secret Anti-Static Powder Tool. And it's like a lip gloss applicator. The powder kind of flies when you pull it out, but it's so good because I just take, you know, these come in little bags. Let me see if I have one handy. because I just did this last night, so I should have them all handy. Sorry. Okay, so they come in bags like this, right? So you open it up, and no matter what they do to get rid of the static builds up again during shipping. So you take your little tool, you rub it right in here, and that eliminates the static. So when you pour them out, when I pour them out into these little containers, the static is either completely gone or greatly reduced. It just depends. But I just pour them from here into here, and if I need to, I can add a little bit more powder kind of along the lip here, and that just makes that transfer so easy. And then I just snip the name off of the package, and I just tape it down. And that way when I use them all and I add something else, I just peel it up. There are labels that come with these. Now she does have a confetti cache, and you know, actually labels don't come with this one. Labels come with the one that you get from Amazon, because I have many of these at this point in my life. My crafting journey is full of embellishments, but this one is from This Calls for Confetti, and you can see how these will just nicely slide in there, and there are different sizes. So if you have, you know, some things that are bulkier, or you just have lots of them or whatever, you can add them there. So there's that. Also, when you're putting your confetti into your project, like for me, I always go around the edges of my tape, because I don't want my confetti to get all stuck to the tape, right? We put it in there because we want it to shake around. So I put it along the edges of my tape, and that keeps it from sticking to the edges of the tape. And then I also add just a little bit more glue to wherever the tape is. I just kind of put a little bit of extra glue on there. That way, not only does it give me wiggle room, but if this got onto the part that actually has to seal, you know, you want to make sure that you give it some other way to adhere so that your shaker bits don't come flying out. But that was a lot more said about this tag than I anticipated, but I just want to make sure you guys are kind of privy to all the different pieces and parts that went into that. So let me set these over here, get them kind of over to the side. And then this was my second one. And look at all that shimmer and that sparkle. That's from the Sheer Shimmer Spray. And I just stamped out my two ostriches, and I colored them up with my Olos. Now this die is this one right there, and then this one is this one. And this piece, if I hadn't added this little green piece, it would have just been a flat edge up against this houndstooth paper, and I didn't like that. I wanted there to be a better transition. So I die cut this green piece with this same postage die, just so I could line it up right there. And then I don't know if you can see, but there's a little piece of the teal paper. I just wanted there to be kind of another threshold between the green and the white. So, excuse me. Thought that was really fun, and I just colored them up using the colors from the pattern paper. I let that be my guide for my color scheme. I know a lot of people really struggle with, well, what's your color scheme going to be? Well, let your pattern paper do the talking. Let it guide you. And so the fa la la are the leftovers from this, right? So on this, the negative fa la la does the talking, and on this, the positive fa la la does the talking. And there's a lot going on this one, even though it's relatively clean. It's definitely not simple because there's so many different patterns going on. But by adding the solids and the neutral white, it kind of tames it down, gives your eye someplace to land and be still for a minute. But it also makes the fa la la stand out from that houndstooth. So I think it's super cute. And I just, like I said, I colored him and fussy cut him out. And then I've popped him up on some of those foam pieces, but they are the single layer, so there's minimal loft, but it's just enough to add a little bit of shadow, a little bit of dimension there. Really cute. And then the Sending Christmas Cheer was from the sentiment pieces as well. Yeah, I think it's really, really cute. And I used just a little bit of a white gel pen just to add some highlights to the little ostrich, make the picture stand out. But I have not done anything on the inside. I typically don't. I might go back and do it, but we'll see. But again, you can see all of that sparkle and that shimmer from the sheer shimmer spritz. Now you can get shimmery spray from just about, I don't even know how many different ways, but anyway. Okay, here is my last one, and this is the other ostrich in that set, you can see. And again, that same die from the Lafayette set from Mama Elephant, and then the rounded oval. And again, by using the white and making sure that there's a white border, excuse me, not only does that frame those elements, but it gives your eye a place to stop. Because between the polka dots and the houndstooth and the ornaments and all the coloring on your critter and the words, it's just a lot, and your eye needs a place to go, whoo, and start back in the journey, the visual journey. So I think they're all adorable. I had so much fun with these. Now, when you look at this, just the houndstooth piece, I know it's kind of hard to separate it visually from the ornament cardstock, pattern paper, but can you tell where that came from? Just take a second and think about it. Some of you have already figured it out way before I even asked, but let me show you. Look at the shape of that and the shape of this piece, the postage die. That's right. This is the leftovers. I thought that was so fun. Now I could have trimmed this down a little bit more so that there's only one row of houndstooth, but I liked that it was a little bit larger lip on this end. But I just added this to the top of the ornament pattern paper, and then I trimmed it down so there was no excess sticking out the sides, and that's how I created my background. So guys, let me encourage you, don't throw away that excess. Sometimes, maybe you cut wonky or whatever, but that can always be another piece. For instance, this is where I cut out the white, shadow layers. But had I cut this straight, this could have been another shaker piece like that, and I could have added a fun pattern paper to the back of that. And it didn't necessarily have to be a shaker, but look how cool that would look with that one. Or any of them, really. I think it would be really cool on that. Look at that contrast. Where's the polka dot? I'm looking, yeah, there we go. I think that would be really fun too. But I did not do that only because when I cut this out around the dies, I just kind of curved it there. I wish I had done it straight because that would have been another piece. But all right, my friends. So that is my Saturday morning makes. Let me just show you real quick. I have a couple more things here from this Calls for Confetti that I just wanted to be sure to show you guys. This is the, what I should call them, full front shaker pockets. These are A2 size again. Now see this, she has little different measures because we want it to go all the way around your A2 panel. Well, you know what, I'll show it in another video. And I've used them in other videos too, but there's a protective film on these as well. And then this one is really cool because it's a circle die, but it's a kit because it has the outside and it has the inside dies, and it also has the little pocket. So those are really fun. And then this one is the little circles. These are a little deeper. This one is going to be really shallow, and here's another one. This is a rectangular one. Again, it's a whole kit with the frames inside, so you don't have to try to find the right size die to be able to cut a hole for these. It comes with it. But you can see how the difference in depth. Like this is really a low profile, and this is a higher profile. So you could add, bulkier pieces in there. I thought about doing a cat lover's card and having like some cat snacks in there. You could do like little mints or candies. Anything that would fit in there but needs a little bit deeper lift is right there. And then this one too. This one is the same as this, except it has embossing like for a gift card, and it's perfect size for a gift card. Now this one does not have the dies, but the dies come in this one. And once you have them, right? They're yours. So, and you can create a frame by using both pieces. Yeah, it's just a really cool idea. And I love that this has that embossing and you can stick your gift card in there too. So, all right, friends, that is all I have for you this Saturday morning. And I've so enjoyed sharing my fun stuff with This Calls for Confetti, as well as other things, of course. But man, I just had a blast playing with these products and all the beautiful sparkly bits and just everything. It's coming together so well. And Lisa and Aaron are expanding their company to have so many different products and yeah, so many different styles and just kind of something for everybody. So y'all stay tuned to This Calls for Confetti. Stay tuned here as well. I'm almost to 2,000 subscribers. I hope to do a giveaway once I get there. I had planned to do something big at 1,000 subscribers, but life happened, and you know, some of you know my sister passed about that time, and it just kind of, I don't know, lost its oomph, if you will. But 2,000 is right around the corner. You guys are amazing. You're the ones that got me there, and I can't thank you enough. But for now, guys, thank you for spending some of your Saturday morning with me, or whenever it is that you're watching this. Go ahead and hop along. Use that hashtag SatMornMakes. Go see what everybody has created, and you can use that hashtag on any social media platform, because we kind of post everywhere. But there's also a Facebook group where we try to make sure that we kind of consolidate everything right there. It's called Saturday Morning Makes, and today's too. So it's not only Saturday morning that we can make and share. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Mwah. I love you guys. You're the best. And until next time, I'm out.